how one local choir gives back to the community one song at a time.
Then JMU Lacrosse picks up its sticks to start their spring season.
Plus, this JMU alumna turned the page on the next chapter of her book career.
Live from the Allison B. Parker Studio in the School of Media Arts and Design at James Madison University, this is Breeze TV.
Welcome back to Breeze TV. I'm Maggie Rickerby.
And I'm Zoe Mowry.
Performing music and giving back to the community work in perfect harmony for this local ensemble.
Sounds blend together every Sunday night in this Harrisonburg church. But this local ensemble is not your typical group choir. Since their founding 15 years ago, Voice Ensemble raises money for 2 local nonprofits a year, like the Collins Center.
To know that there's a group out there that cares enough that they're going to help raise some funds for this work means we're not doing it alone.
Voice concerts support the mission of each nonprofit. For the Collins Center, it's to provide services for people experiencing sexual violence.
Just learning more about all the services they provide and knowing that we're helping to build capacity for the services that are so needed in this community was just really fulfilling.
Not only does Voice give back to the community, the ensemble has created its own. Each voice belongs to people from many different walks of life. Its diversity is what members like Brooke Blankenship say makes this group so special.
We are so many different ages, so many different abilities, so many different backgrounds, and we all share the joy of making music.
This joy has been shared among over 150 members since Voice began and has helped the ensemble raise over $80,000. But the group isn't stopping there. They're already preparing for their next concert in June to benefit the Blue Ridge Free Clinic. Reporting alongside Jacob Morris for Breeze TV, I'm Maggie Rickerby.
With the help of the JMU community, Students Against Sexual Violence, or SASV, is providing extra support for victims through clothing donations. Tuesday was the organization's first clothing drive. This allows sexual assault survivors to change into new clothes after investigators run DNA tests. Co-president Catherine Stumpf says this is an important but overlooked aspect of helping survivors.
As well, just because, this might not be something people think of as just these small things, like a pair of comfortable pants can go a long way for somebody, especially after something like that happening. So we want to be there for those in the community as much as we can, even if it's just something like a pair of pants.
Donations exceeded SASV's expectations. Co-president Allison Riley says the community support is encouraging.
We got dozens of bags, not only in here, but also each of our cars is full of clothes. So it was really exciting to know that people were coming in solidarity for survivors and coming to support not just survivors, but also each other and for SASV.
Well, look out, Dukes. JMU is tipping off the inaugural Sunbelt Conference food fight. These SBC schools are working to fight food insecurity by competing for food donations. Abby Allard is currently live now with more information. Abby, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Maggie. I'm here outside the Union, which is one of the drop-off locations where you can donate products and food here on main campus. I'm also here with Evan Driven, who also works for the JMU Food Pantry, who's giving us more information on what the food fight competition is. So where did you hear about the food fight competition?
Yeah, so I want to say thank you for having me. Thank you to the Breeze for having me as well. So as part of my role as an AmeriCorps Vista is capacity building in the pantry, and I came across this food fight competition that the SEC does every single year. So all the schools in the SEC, they compete against each other to see who can donate the most food and monetary donations for their pantries. And the school who donates the most at the end wins. And each food product and hygiene product and different products, the monetary donations, they're all worth a different amount of points. And the school with the most points wins. So I had the idea to bring this to the Sunbelt Conference. I contacted all 14 universities in the Sunbelt Conference and heard back from about 11 initially, and 8 now are on board to participate. and the competition started yesterday. So it will be going throughout the month of February until February 29th. It ends at 11:59. Super excited about it. There's many different drop-off locations that students and faculty members or whoever can drop off at. There's one over here in the Union. We have another in 3rd floor Warren. You could drop off in the OCL office, either pantry location. There's 2 in Festival on the 1st and 3rd floors. And SEC, there's one as well. So you could see the full list on the JMU website. There's a link where you could see the competition description, participating schools, point system, and other logistics. But yeah, super excited about it, and hopefully JMU will be the school that wins.
I hope so too. And how do you think this is going to benefit not only the JMU community, but also the Harrisonburg community?
Yeah, so the campus pantry started after a survey went out that found that 38.9% of JMU students experience moderate to severe forms of food insecurity. And those numbers are pretty similar these days. It's just over 37%, so just shows you a lot of students are struggling, and it's really important to increase the presence of the pantry and of the reality of the issue on campus and throughout the community. So, and we are going to be pushing our donations off, if we get a lot of them, to other organizations off campus as well. So trying to benefit the full community and just raise as much awareness as possible. So,
well, thank you so much for doing this interview. That's all I have for today here live. Back to you all at the desk.
Thanks so much, Abby. Well, buckle up, Dukes. I-81 South is about to get a whole lot livelier thanks to the new Buc-ee's opening right off of exit 240. Breeze TV's Jack Hadley reports from the groundbreaking ceremony on Tuesday.
Buc-ee's, the gas station chain known for its unique snack selection and beaver mascot, has gained rampant popularity since its first location opened in Texas. They're now expanding into Virginia with a new location off of exit 240 on I-81, set to open in 2025. The groundbreaking ceremony for the location was held on Tuesday to commemorate the beginning of construction. Governor Youngkin is optimistic that Buc-ee's will be a large boon for the JMU community.
And I think that all the students at JMU are going to enjoy driving this direction. And most importantly, everybody going to a JMU football game will enjoy stopping here as well.
Buc-ee's co-founder and CEO, Arch Applin, sees Virginia as a crucial location to expand the chain's reach across the country.
We think Virginia will be key for everyone up in the Northeast that kind of travels all the way down to the South. We think that the interstates here just play really well into our business plan and business model, and being out there on that interstate is going to be good for us.
In addition to adding novelty value to the exit, Buc-ee's is expected to have positive impacts on the economics and culture of Rockingham.
It'll be a large tax revenue that will come in, and not to mention 200 really nice paying jobs. They're all about just giving back and serving, and I think that says so much about who we are as Rockingham County that this is such a good fit.
The new location will be one of the first Buc-ee's in Virginia. This is Jack Hadley for Breeze TV.
Need some weekend plans, or how about discovering a new study spot? Well, Student Sunday has got you covered. Harrisonburg Downtown Renaissance newest social media segment, Student Sunday, is a student essentials guide for all things downtown Harrisonburg. Senior Annette Williams created the segment to better integrate students and the burg.
We have such an untapped market that we're not directly hitting, that Student Sunday might be the best way to reach them and to make them aware of the student guide, because it's a huge resource.
Williams said the guide saves students money and provides information about downtown that they might not have known about. And since JMU plays such a major role in Harrisonburg, Williams believes students are the foundation to downtown.
Students work here, students can walk from campus to here, so we just want to include them in everything we do. And we also want to reach them because they can be so impactful in the way that they speak about downtown businesses to their friends or family when they're visiting and they come downtown.
Weekly deals on HDR's social media every Sunday.
Well, Zoe, we've got a lot coming up in Breeze TV Sports.
Lacrosse is going to have nothing but net in its upcoming season.
Then, men's basketball waved over Coastal Carolina last night.
Plus, we take our loop around the sun with these Sunbelt standings.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99?
That's a New Year's resolution.
Probably won't last long.
Kinda like mine. Get more flavor this year with a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', and a biscuit for $5.99. It's bow time. It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99?
A deal so good it's worth repeating, but it won't last long.
So much flavor.
Eat and repeat while it lasts.
So much flavor.
It's bow time. It's bow time. Bojangles' new chicken rice bowl starts with dirty rice, topped with Cajun pintos, chicken, and cheese.
How's that chicken rice bowl?
It's bold from the bottom up.
Get a fresh, hearty chicken rice bowl for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. Hurry into Bojangles for 2 scratch-made sizzling sausage biscuits for just $4. 1 bite and you'll want breakfast for dinner. Good thing we serve savory sausage biscuits all day. But this 2 for $4 deal won't last forever. It's bow time.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk, your source for all things JMU sports. I'm Colby Reese. Lacrosse season is almost here. The Dukes start their season on February 10th against number 3 North Carolina. With the group ranked 6th nationally in the preseason rankings, the team is looking to add to its previous success. Coming off a season which saw JMU Lacrosse fail to win its conference and lose in the quarterfinals of the NCAA tournament, the team wants to use all of its experience to reach new heights.
We're taking what we've learned in previous years and we're trying to build on top of that. So some things we're focusing on this year is taking it one game at a time.
With senior attacker Isabella Peterson being named the American Athletic Conference Preseason Attack Player of the Year and regarded as one of the best players in the country, head coach Shelly Clace knows the star presence of Peterson is an opportunity for others to step up.
Making sure that we have other people that can contribute to this offense besides Isabella. Everyone knows who she is now and she's going to have to do a lot of work. But the more that other players can step up, be dodging threats, I think it's only going to help this team move forward.
JMU was voted the favorite to win the AAC conference, receiving 4 first-place votes. Accomplishing this is a big goal for the Dukes.
Just putting in everything we have and knowing that we don't have any regrets. Trying to build upon everything we did last year, so we didn't win our conference last year, so can we win this year? Trying to make ourselves better and see what we're capable of, because I know we're capable.
James Madison opens its campaign by hosting third-ranked UNC, an opponent they lost to on the road to open last season. The group believes preparing for such a huge game at the start of the year will carry them through a challenging schedule.
If we're preparing for a top 5 team all year long, we're going to be ready for anybody else that's on our schedule too.
We're so excited. I think this team realizes the potential that we have, and I think that every day in practice we just come ready to compete, and we're so excited to get out there and to play against UNC.
JMU season opener against UNC will begin at noon from Centera Park. Head coach Shelly Clace says despite lacrosse technically being a spring sport, it's mainly played during the winter. She wants JMU Nation to come out to the games even in the cold weather to support the Dukes and not wait until the warmer days arrive to fill the stands. Men's basketball returned to town last night and easily took care of Coastal Carolina, winning 105-67. TJ Bickerstaff had an outstanding first half performance, shooting 9 for 9 from the field and scoring 19 points, which would be his final stat line. 3 others hit the double-figure mark, including Jalen Carey off the bench with 14 points. The Dukes forced 17 turnovers, scoring 43 points from those in the 38-point win. The team put on a show for the fans with many highlight reel dunks. Getting a big conference win in the midst of a tough schedule is a motivating factor moving forward.
It feels great, it kind of feel like how it did in the beginning of the season, just the love for the game, everything's so exciting. We just had a lot of fun out there.
On Saturday, James Madison will host Old Dominion. JMU has already beaten the Monarchs twice this season, both in Norfolk. The group knows getting a 3rd win over their in-state rival will not be an easy challenge.
We know it's a talented team, and they've got some guys that are in different roles right now. I'm probably excited about it. And, you got to turn around quick. The fact that we beat them twice doesn't have any factor into Saturday's game.
Tip-off for JMU versus ODU is set for 4 p.m. at the AUBC. After another week of Sun Belt basketball action, we're just over the midway point of the conference season. With teams looking to improve their position in the standings, every game is crucial the remainder of the way. It's now time to take a loop around the sun. As you can see, starting here with our men's standings, JMU is in third after that big win over Coastal. ODU still sits at last in the conference, but they did get a big win at Marshall last night, so look to continue that momentum here in the Berg tomorrow. And App State still only has that one loss to their name as they continue their momentum. Let's move on to the women's side of things now. JMU lost at Georgia State this week, the second year in a row losing in Atlanta. They are set to face undefeated Marshall tomorrow. That's a huge game. Marshall beat JMU here in Harrisonburg just last week. South Alabama is still winless in Sun Belt play. They're looking to get their first win, and 1st through 6th is a very tight race, so that will be a tough, race throughout the rest of the season. And that's our loop around the sun for this week. We'll continue the sports desk after the break with a feature on JMU women's soccer's former standout keeper and an update on how women's tennis played in its first action at home last weekend. We'll be right back.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99?
That's a New Year's resolution.
Probably won't last long.
Kinda like mine.
Get more flavor this year with a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin' and a biscuit for $5.99. It's bow time. It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99?
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $5.99?
A deal so good it's worth repeating, but it won't last long.
So much flavor.
Eat and repeat while it lasts.
So much flavor.
It's bow time. It's bow time. Hurry into Bojangles for 2 scratch-made sizzling sausage biscuits for just $4. One bite and you'll want breakfast for dinner. Good thing we serve savory sausage biscuits all day. But this 2 for $4 deal won't last forever. It's bow time.
This is Breeze TV.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk. Throughout her 5 years playing for JMU women's soccer, Alexandra Blom formed a career as one of the top goalkeepers in program history. Now she's beginning a new story in a familiar place. Earlier this month, Blom signed with Swedish soccer side Malbäckens IF, which competes in the Elite 10, the 2nd division of women's soccer in Sweden. Not only did she grow up in the country, she was called into 3 Swedish national team camps. While the jump to professional soccer may have its challenges, Blom thinks her experience playing top caliber NCAA teams will help her adjust to the new competition.
It helps you a lot because you play all these good teams and it helps you prepare to take the next step.
Blom is already in Sweden and practicing with the club, which will next play on April 14th versus IK Uppsala. With the support of former JMU teammates, Blom says she's looking forward to the opportunity.
The girls back at JMU are very excited and I'm so happy having their support, but also my old teammates here in Sweden are supporting me, so I do really feel the support from everyone and I'm so grateful to have them in my life.
Blom has been a mainstay for JMU over the past few years in the box, and JMU's younger keepers Rachel Bump and Sophia Bakurb will need to replace that effort in 2024. Breeze TV's Piper Hepler is in studio to give an update on how women's tennis swung into its home slate. Piper?
Thank you, Colby. After starting their season with losses to UVA and Wisconsin and a win over Northern Illinois, JMU women's tennis came back to the Berg to face its first opponent at home. Here's a recap of what took place at the East Campus tennis courts. women's tennis had its home opener to the spring season this past weekend against Howard. After starting the season with 3 road matches, the Dukes were back in Harrisonburg to face the Bison.
I feel like we all like our home courts, and it's really comfortable for us, and we do get a lot of supporters compared to other years. So I think our team just likes being surrounded by people we love, so I'm glad we finally get to be at home.
JMU took the doubles point early in the match with wins from Kate Brewerman and Haley Glenn on court 2 and Rekka Matko and Alex Prudent on court 3. Brewerman, Matko, and Prudent would also go on to win their singles matches, helping to fuel a 5-2 win over the Bison. Brewerman says she hopes the confidence from her 2-0 win this weekend will help keep a consistent rhythm for the rest of the season.
Creates a good mentality for not just myself, but for the team, like knowing that I have like the confidence to go out and perform like every weekend the way I did.
As the rest of the season approaches, new head coach Tyson Thomas wants to put an emphasis on not only being strong competitors, but also enjoying the process.
We want to work hard, we want to be really intense, we want to compete, we want to, we want to win matches. But we want to do all of those things while we're having fun.
I think we're really going to focus on like staying consistent with our practice, keeping the intensity up. I think we're going to work on our energy.
This weekend, JMU will hope to move to a 4-2 record as they take on Missouri and Liberty in Lynchburg. Reporting from the East Campus tennis courts alongside Chloe Marion for Breeze TV, I'm Piper Hepler. The Dukes will face Missouri on Saturday at 10 a.m. and Liberty on Sunday at noon. That's all from the world of sports this week. Zoe and Maggie, back to you.
Thank you so much, Piper. JMU Breeze alumna and author Rachel McCready stopped in Harrisonburg to talk about her debut novel, Sunseekers, with Breeze TV's Alexa Bonilla. Inspired by some of McCready's real-life experiences, the story follows a 6-year-old girl navigating her grandfather's dementia.
That's the joyful part of this book, is seeing things from the more innocent eyes of a child. She doesn't have that sort of like jaded, pessimistic outlook on things that adults so often do. Like, she's just constantly asking questions or trying to solve problems that we as adults like know aren't solvable, but she doesn't know that, and you're not going to stop her. And so for me, that was almost like therapeutic in a lot of ways, because it was just like, it doesn't have to be this like sad, depressing story about dementia or Alzheimer's or something that is such a heavy topic to begin with. It can be like this joyful celebration of life in a lot of ways. And so that you're saying like, what's the hardest part? It wasn't hard, it was fun.
The full interview with more on McCready's novel and career will be on the Breeze's website shortly.
JMU's application numbers have soared in recent years, recovering in full force from pandemic lows. A record 40,000 people applied for a spot in the class of 2028, according to JMU Admissions. Early action decisions were released in mid-January. One future Duke from Chesapeake, Virginia, committed soon after she received her letter.
I've never heard anyone say that they regret going to JMU or that they don't like it there. And I'm more of like a work hard, play hard kind of person. I got accepted for biophysical chemistry, so I'm really excited to work hard there and also have fun with other people who go to JMU.
Like many incoming Dukes, Avery most looks forward to joining major-related clubs and meeting those with similar interests. Once regular decisions roll out mid-March, we'll have a better idea of just how many more people will call JMU's campus home.
Happy Groundhog Day, JMU. Did you see Punxsutawney Phil's prediction this morning? Well, Dukes, we're in luck since Phil predicted that we will have an early spring. But where did this tradition come from? According to NBC 10 in Philadelphia, the origins of this beloved rodent predicting the weather comes from a journal in 1841 written by German descents in Morgantown, Pennsylvania. But the first modern day Groundhog's Day can be traced back to 1887, when a newspaper editor in Punxsutawney claimed that the Phil of Punxsutawney Groundhog Club was the only real groundhog in America that could predict the weather. So we can thank that editor and Bill Murray for the festivities still celebrated today. Well, sunny dates are at this weekend in Harrisonburg, Rockingham County. Breeze TV's Emily McKay has the weather. Emily, what can we look forward to this weekend?
Thank you, Maggie. The weather is staying consistent throughout the weekend with highs in the upper 40s and lows in the mid-20s and lots of sun. Today in Rockingham County, it is sunny with most temperatures staying in the 40s. In some areas, we're seeing low to mid-50s, and in Monterey, we're seeing temperatures as low as 38. Saturday, the temperatures stay the same with most areas staying in the 40s and Charlottesville hitting as high as 50 degrees. And Sunday, temperatures rise slightly as most areas are in the high 40s and low 50s. We see temperatures as high as 52 in the eastern cities, and it is going to be sunny all day. That's all I have for weekend weather. Back to you all at the desk.
Thanks so much, Emily. Well, happy Groundhog Day. Puxatawny Film, really glad that he saw his shadow, and we're gonna have spring early because it has been too cold here in Harrisonburg.
It really has. One morning I woke up here and it was like 13 degrees, way too cold. I'm excited for spring.
Me too. And we will see you guys here, same time, same place, next week.